set out to design a stealthy electric bike, one so sexy you couldn't tell it's electric. Job well done. You may remember us from our first campaign when we launched a sleek line of electric bikes for the people. After delivering thousands of bikes around the world, releasing over a dozen new models and countless design iterations, we're ready to release the Babymaker. It's the sexiest and stealthiest e-bike we've ever made. The Babymaker is everything we love about classic road bikes, redesigned with advanced technology for the modern world. The beauty is simplicity. Less is more.
You got enough going on in your life. The last thing you need is more gimmick features you'll never use.
There's no gears to fumble with, no keys, no GPS, no Bluetooth, no pointless app, so you can just enjoy the ride. The Babymaker is simple. It works for you. Just turn it on, hit the pedals, and go. Traditional bikes are limited by your own pedal power, making hills and high speeds challenging. That's why we gave the Babymaker a powerful motor discreetly placed in the rear wheel. Tackle hills with ease and get there in record time, all without breaking a sweat.
Want to get to work fast and fresh? Put in level 5 and let your Babymaker do the work. Want some exercise? Put in level 0 and it's all you, baby.
The Babymaker's classic style turns heads everywhere, yet nobody knows it's electric. That can be our little secret. There's no ugly battery bolted to the bike. Instead, we ditched the unsightly cables and hit a high-capacity lithium battery right in the frame. Charge the battery in just 2 hours and you can ride with pedal assist up to 50 miles per charge. When the battery's out, you can just continue riding forever on your own power. The Babymaker is so lightweight, it pedals just like a normal bike. When you need to slow down, just hit the powerful Magura hydraulic disc brakes and safely stop from high speeds in an instant. The Babymaker Pro has no greasy chain. Instead, it rocks a carbon Gates belt drive. This gives you a remarkably smooth ride that is quiet, clean, and maintenance-free. The Babymaker is our vision of the future of sustainable transportation. It gives you the freedom to ride faster, climb higher, and explore further than ever before. The Babymaker is more than just a bike, it's a movement. If you want to keep more money in your wallet, have more time for the people you love, and breathe more clean air, then this is the bike for you.
The Babymaker is ready for mass production, so reserve yours today and tell your friends, because with your help and our expertise, we're going to build you a bike that will change the way you think about riding forever. Thanks for watching, guys. We'll see ya.
This is Justin Case of America Newscape, joining our friend Rob Rast, the founder of FLX Bike. Rob is researching this bike. We're jazzed. We determined this machine is simply incredible. Greetings, Rob. Welcome to America Newscape.
Greetings, Justin. Thank you so much for having me on, and what a pleasure it is to come and chat with you today.
Hey, what a pleasure to have you. Let's get this kicked off. Can you share the adventure of developing what some might say is the sexiest bike to date?
Well, it goes back many, many years. I'm not sure where you'd like me to start. I could start since birth, but I'll try and make it short for your watchers here. I was in China at the time, and I met my co-founder, Pete. He came to stay at my apartment. I had an empty room in an apartment. He came to stay there, and this just really cool dude walked in the door. He was in the petroleum industry. I was in the aviation industry, and we just hit it off like peanut butter and jelly. We were having some beers together. He took my motorcycle out around the city, and he'd come back and say, hey, these electric scooters that everybody's riding around on seem super convenient. I think these would be great to sell in the West. And we started looking around, doing some research, chatting about it, and both kind of decided, well, these electric scooters, I wouldn't want to be caught dead on them. How about something that's sexy, like a bike, but way faster, that you'd be proud to ride? Some of you tell your friends, like, yeah, it's electric. It goes really fast and go really far. So we started developing our own electric bikes. That was back in 2016, launched the company, and it's been a process since then of just releasing model after model. And our latest one, the Babymaker, has seen huge success, I think, because we finally really nailed the aesthetic. It looks just like a normal bike. You can't tell it's electric, but it goes fast, it goes far, and it can crush any hill.
So Babymaker, what a name that must be.
Yes. So with every product we develop, Pete and I, and we're kind of funny guys. We like to make each other laugh. We'll just shoot messages back and forth, trying to kind of crack the other person up, but also coming up with some serious ones. And Pete sent over the word baby maker, and I loved it. I laughed. He laughed, so we picked that one and thought, can we actually name the bike that? And we just went for it. It's kind of our statement of freedom of speech, because not everybody loves the name, as you may imagine.
Well, I love the name, but but what do I know?
Well, you've got a sense of humor. Some people, you should see our social media channels. There's people getting really upset because the word baby maker showed up on Facebook or Instagram. They're saying, "Oh, you sexist pigs! I hope you died." And it's like, it's just a word, guys. Some people see it and they smile and laugh and go about their days. And other people get all upset, and I think it ruins their day. And at the end of the day, who do you think goes to bed happier? So it's kind of our statement to, tell people maybe not get so offended about meaningless words. Maybe
Well,
focus on the issues that matter.
remember, we're always judged by our detractors as well. Some of those people you want to be detractors. But enough on
True,
that.
true.
Let's get on to. Could you touch on the advantages of this inspiring bike?
Yes, so the main thing really, we've got many, many bike models, and we've got ones. This is not our most powerful bike by any means. It won't go the furthest either. If you look at the spec sheet in terms of top speed, battery capacity, range, all of our other bikes will outperform it. However, they won't look as good doing it. And so it's really kind of an in-between crossover between a regular road bike and an electric bike. And I think hitting that balance really has resonated with a lot of people who would appreciate the extra power, but they want something closer to home. It just feels like your normal bike. It rides like your normal bike, but guess what? You sit on it and you feel like Superman. You're getting some extra boost. You can hit 25, 28 miles per hour pretty easy, which on a normal bike, you got to be cooking with everything you got, and you can go up any hill.
Yeah, that's what's amazing. I mean, that the even when we were athletes and young, those hills could be daunting, but this thing looks miraculous. Could you?
Totally. I don't know if you saw the clip in the video going up the hill. The reason it can do that is the motor on it. It's got 500 watts of peak power. And if you look at a normal cyclist, just your average human who's really sprinting and putting on the pedals, they're doing maybe 250, 300 watts on the pedals. So you're immediately got twice as much power from the motor, plus your own human power from pedaling. So you've got 3 times more power than you would on a regular bike. And that's what can really allow it to hit those top speeds and cruise at it, or climb up the steepest hills that you'd have to walk a normal bike up.
Well, could you share some of the performance of the bike line and the rideability? I mean, the rideability is amazing. People that haven't seen you demonstrate the bike in public, it's remarkable who
Mm-hmm.
you'll put on that bike and who'll just get off of that bike loving that bike.
Totally, totally. It is a challenge because we're an online business to really communicate what this bike's going to do. If somebody comes in and has a chance to sit down on it and feel the power, it's a no-brainer. They get it. But trying to communicate that through video has been challenging for us. We're doing our best, but really, in terms of specs, you can hit 25 to 28 miles per hour. Range, we've got riders doing 50 miles per charge, and that is budgeting the battery a bit. An average rider, if you're in the highest level like me, highest level of pedal assist, you'll do between 15 and 20 miles, and that's just using all the motor power, trying to have some fun. But any rider can use the bike. The reason is it's super simple. There's no gears. You don't have to shift gears. That's something that's usually very challenging for people who don't do much bike riding. And the bicycle industry can be very, very intimidating. We've even been the subject of a lot of hate from industry insiders because we're kind of disrupting the industry and saying, look, you don't need 100 gears on your bike. You don't need 50 sizes. Just get on it, hit the pedals, and go. And you feel like Superman. And that's really what's helped a lot of people feel the bike is more approachable.
Well, let's take another glance at one of these videos. Let's catch this action-packed video of the FLX Bike in action. Welcome back.
Heck yeah. Oh, that was a fun video.
That is a fun video. I almost want to replay it, but I can't. Hey, I've heard rumors about the $1 million bearing. What's that all about, Rob?
So I'll give you a quick backstory on it. Back in September, October of last year, I was skating on the boardwalk and I saw this guy standing there next to his Ferrari. We started chatting and I got him on the skateboard. He ended up buying 2 skateboards from me. And I went to go deliver him the skateboards and we went for a ride, had a chat. I was like, look, dude, you're a successful guy. How'd you come up? And he's got a crazy story. He had been in prison. He broke his neck. He was paralyzed for a year and he wanted to turn his life around. He started door-to-door sales. And, he had no money. He was driving a crappy Nissan Sentra or something. And he'd sit there with 4 other sales guys in the back of his car. And he said he'd close his eyes when he got in the car. And he could smell the steering wheel of his Ferrari. And he knew one day he was going to get it. And then he'd go home. And when he'd get to his bed, he'd pull this white rock out of his pocket. And he'd stick it on the nightstand. And then he'd wake up the next morning and he'd take the white rock, look at it, feel it in his hands, stick it back in his pocket. And that was his $1 million rock. And anytime he touched it in his pocket or he thought about it or felt it, he knew he was going to get his $1 million. He was going to be a millionaire and buy his Ferrari. And it was just very motivating for him, a constant reminder to never stop working, to knock on one more door before he went home. And so that was really inspiring to me. Hearing his story from him is way better than from me. But I went and got my $1 million bearing to match that. So instead of a rock, I got a bearing. As you know, with bikes and with skateboards, which we also do, there's a lot of bearings in it. And it's so simple. It's the tiniest thing, but it has absolutely changed the world. And you bet the guy who invented this, he's provided millions, if not billions of dollars of value to the world and been compensated accordingly. So I keep that with me, that $1 million bearing, as a reminder to work hard and give value to the world.
So every morning you pay homage to your bearing.
Oh, yeah.
That's cool.
That bearing keeps me working hard.
I hate to interject my stories, but for
let's hear it.
Well, all those Ferrari owners out there, this was back in, I'd say, about 1985, and a friend and I were driving to a competition, and we were passed on the highway at about 90 miles an hour, and we thought, wow, that's one of those new Pontiacs. Let's catch it. So he sped up to 95 and we got behind it and we started laughing, and that person was going to the same place we were, and we were still laughing when we got out of the car. And we parked right next to him. The guy said, "What are you guys laughing about?" I said, "Well, it's your car." I said, "Do you know that we thought when you passed us it was one of those new Fieros?" I don't know if you go back to that crappy Pontiac Fiero, but it looked just like a Ferrari in the front and in the back. Man. And you could have seen
those were awesome.
You could see how disheartened he was. But enough about me. It's all perspective,
You should have
right?
just for a laugh pretended like you were disappointed. Oh, I thought it was a new Fiero. Never mind.
Yeah, I'm sure I probably did. Okay. Hey, thanks for the bearing story. Can you tell how any person can harness their power to change the world?
Absolutely. So I'm still learning that myself, but I've made a lot of progress from 10 years ago. Before, I was very motivated by, I guess, material things and wanting to be successful. And I thought, I can do this and make some money. And so, growing up, I always had to make money to pay for things or pay for school, whatever. And at 21, I started my first business. It was importing wine into China. Long story, but the reason I did that is because I thought there was a lot of money in it. And I don't even like wine. I hate wine. I don't drink now, 10 years later. And I'm just doing this business because, I'm trying to make money, and I wasn't passionate about it at all. I'd go out and do it and kind of return home not really happy with what I was doing, not providing any value to the world, just trying to take my slice, but not give anything really in return. And it's been a journey since then. But the biggest thing I learned there was to do things out of love and out of passion rather than for money. Because if you're doing that, you can really give a lot more of yourself. So that's probably the biggest piece of advice I could give in a short time frame, is to find what you love and find what you are passionate about, and then just align that with a way to deliver it to more people in the world, and you will be compensated for that, no doubt.
Well, Rob, you certainly, I believe you've delivered with this bike, and I can't wait to get to San Diego. I understand you have a showroom. I can actually touch it, feel it, smell it, maybe even visit your
That would be awesome.
Maybe I could see your bearing in person.
You can definitely see my bearing in person.
Okay. This has been
Go ahead. Never mind.
No.
This has got to be safe. I was going to say it's a ball bearing.
Okay.
This is the weird part of YouTube. We should just keep moving.
Okay. Well, this is what people love.
You can see my bearing and ride my baby maker anytime you like.
Oh, there you go. This is Justin Case trying to collect himself, and Rob Rast sharing a few insights into the FLX bike. Thanks for joining us. Remember, additional information and links are provided in this video's Read More. Please be sure to subscribe to this channel. Check out FLX Bikes. Join the FLX party. And please remember to stand back. We're not quite sure how big this channel is going to get.
Hi everybody, it's Rob from FLX Bike, and behind me I've got a familiar bike here. Some of you may recognize it as the FLX Blade, which it is, but it's got something a little bit different. So this is actually a Blade Class 2, which is available now on the website, and the difference is instead of a 1,000-watt motor, it's got a 749-watt motor. So now the speed limit on this, it is set at 20 miles per hour, but if you were to use it off-road, you could modify that up or down to fit your likings. Just know that it will no longer be Class 2 if you do move the speed up. The motor power cannot be adjusted after you do that, but for the folks who are living in bigger cities and want to use this on the road, this is an option for you to get a Blade, which is still very, very powerful and just crazy to ride and still be completely legal. So this is the max power you can get in a street legal bike. And instead of me riding it, I'm going to have my friend Christine show you guys how the Blade Class 2 performs.
Hey guys, thanks for watching. The Blade Class 2 is now available at flx.bike. Hit us up if you have any questions, and happy trails.